Hello there, welcome to my channel. My name's Dave and my business name is Magical Toy Cupboard. I'm on eBay, I'm on Instagram, I'm on TikTok, I'm on Vinted, Facebook Marketplace, anywhere really that I can get my items views and get sales. I'm going to be doing a lot of videos on reselling, tips, hints, stuff I've learned on the way. I've been reselling now for 5 years, so let me tell you a little bit about myself. Just before I start though, if this is something that you'd be interested in or you're looking to do, and you think this channel might be useful to you with the tips that I give you and things that I show you that I've picked up, and how much I paid for them, what I sold them for, the profit margins and so on, then please click the like button and subscribe. I'll be posting at least 2 to 3 videos a week. The content will get much better, trust me. This is a very basic video that I am starting with, as this is the first one I've done, so bear with me. But let me just tell you a bit about myself. So as I say, I'm a UK based eBay reseller. It all started in lockdown. Basically, I got furloughed from my job, and I was being paid basically to sit at home, and like a lot of us was back in lockdown. And I basically got fed up after about 3 or 4 weeks and thought, you know what, I'm just gonna, keep myself occupied, do something. So I just started selling some of the kids stuff that they wasn't playing with anymore, toys, clothes, anything like that, books. And it started to go really well, and I was selling a lot of stuff, and I then thought, you know what, I might try and push this a bit further. So I ordered a few things and sort of resold them in bulk, and that went really well. And then I started picking stuff up from Facebook Marketplace, listing those on there, and they were flying out the door. And before you knew it, say 3 or 4 months in to lockdown, I was earning more than I was in my full-time job. I've always wanted to work for myself. I've always wanted my own business, just never really known what it is that I wanted to do. And I did many dead-end jobs. So basically, this first video is obviously, like I said, an introduction to me, a bit about myself, a bit about what I do, and also the question in the title, is reselling for you? Now, there's a lot of people reselling these days, a lot, and it's not easy. Yeah, you will watch videos where people go, oh yeah, it's brilliant, I've jacked my job in, I'm making this, that and the other. A lot of people, unfortunately, will only tell you the highs, they won't tell you the lows. But if you put the work in, if you put the graft in, the hours in, and you sort of have a set routine, you can make this work, and you can escape the 9 to 5 rat run. As I say, I worked many a job, dead-end job, earning not particularly great money, to earn extra money, to get some decent money so you can go on holidays and, afford nicer things. I was sometimes doing 70 hours a week, working weekends as well, and basically just hating it. Yeah, I never enjoyed it. I did driving for years. That was okay to start with, but then, like most companies that you drive for, the better you are at it, they put more on you. So if you're delivering, say, parcels, and you're only delivering 50 parcels and you deliver them quite well quickly, they'll bang another 30 on, but they'll still pay the same amount of money. They expect the same from you. I worked for a bathroom company, delivering bathroom suites, and I did a lot of long hours. Wasn't too bad there. I did leave there and start another job, which was a driving job, and I was doing probably 70, 80 hours a week and just getting no sleep, not seeing my family, my kids. Money was rubbish, and I hated it. The last job I did was in a warehouse for 4 years, which was a really good job. I did enjoy it. The money was good. You got bonuses, but there was no scope. There was no overtime. It was just set hours, like Monday to Friday. You finished early on a Friday, that was it. You couldn't work weekends. I didn't work bank holidays. Not that you ever want to, but if the option's there and you need the extra money, obviously you could, but not at this place. So yeah, so we got furloughed from there, all of us, and they slowly started taking us a few staff back. And then in the end, I just said to my wife, you know what, I'm going to give this reselling thing a go. If it doesn't work out, then, I've tried it, haven't I? And I'll get another job, and I'll have to go back to being bored and hating my job and hating, everything about it. But 5 years in, I've been doing this now, and it's gone really well. Obviously, I started out as small as possible, and I have only recently got myself some storage, because at one point my wife was likening it to Nelson Mandela House. Only fools and horses. I'd got stuff all in the hall. I'd got stuff at some points in the living room, which she wasn't too happy about. So in the end, I just thought, you know what, I'll look into some storage. I've got a lot of stock coming in because just before, I think it was just after summer, yeah, just after summer last year, another reseller, a guy who sells on eBay, he decided he was quitting and he was going to go back to teaching with his wife. So uh, I noticed he got some stock for sale on Facebook Marketplace. So I messaged him and said, look, I've noticed you've got a lot. What more have you got? He told me he got more. He told me the explanation as to why he was quitting, what he was doing. He was going back into teaching. And I said, okay, well, how about I'll buy pretty much all your stock if you send me photos. It looks like the sort of stuff that I sell. If it's a good price, I'll take pretty much all of it, and that's what I did. So just before I went abroad last year to Tenerife, I'd been and picked up a load from him, and it was all in the hall. Literally the night before we flew, my hallway was full, and I thought, you know what, I need to sort some storage out. So when I got back, I contacted a few places, looked into it, and it wasn't actually as expensive as I thought. And in some aspects, the storage pays for itself, because not only does it obviously mean you've not got a lot of stock in the house, you can organise it better. Basically, you can then pick up stuff that's been sold for free. So what I've picked up in the past is large bundles of vintage magazines where people just want to get rid of them, like hundreds of them, thousands of them. Now, obviously, back in the day, I could have looked at that. I thought, you know what, there's some money in them. You can sell them individually, sell them in bundles. It's free. So whatever you got for them was profit. So there was no loss there. But where am I going to put them? I didn't have anywhere to put them. So basically, I thought, if I've got a storage unit, don't have to get a big one, just get a small storage unit to start with, see how that goes, and if I need to scale it up, I can. I did that, and I've done a lot of pickups where I've been able to store stuff in there that I've paid nothing for, so it doesn't have to be, immediately sold. I have to rush into selling. I'd have to think, oh God, I've got all that sat there and it's piling up. I need to get rid of it. I've left it in there and then just tackled it when the stock's run low on other stuff I've got. I've popped up there, grabbed a few items, sold them, and made money on the free stuff, and that really works. And the idea in the long run will be, and I know a lot of people do this, will be to get a bit of a bigger storage unit and maybe pick up some smaller furniture items that people are either giving away or they're cheap, £5, £10, and then quickly flipping them for, even if it's 10, 15, 20, 30 quid profit quick, because I can put it in the storage unit. It doesn't really matter if it sits in there for 2 months. At the end of the day, if it's free or cheap and I can flip it quickly anyway, I'm getting money back, quickly then anyway. And I've not been able to do that before because I've not had the space. I've had to just stick to small items. I mainly do sell toys, to be honest with you, vintage toys. About 3.5 years ago, I started selling vintage comics, vintage annuals, vintage magazines, anything like that. I've got really good at picking up stuff, and knowing that, there's a lot of profit in it, and knowing what to look for. I've dabbled in comics now, Marvel, DC, Dark Horse comics. Picked up massive bundles of those for a decent price. I've sold some individually for very good money. And then, what's left, I've ended up bundling up and selling in 20s or even hundreds, just to shift them on. And that's worked. And all it is with this reselling life, which is what this is all about, if you're thinking of reselling and you've got doubts or you've got some questions, then is it going to be for you? So this is what you really need to answer. So if you're working somewhere currently, yeah, if you say you're doing it part-time at the minute and you're managing to find the time to do it, and you're getting good at it, you're selling stuff, your stuff's getting views, and you're getting your items sold, you're packaging them up properly so they look proper when they go out. Because, like, I know people on Vinted, they put them in black bin bags and send them out and stuff. And to be honest with you, imagine if you bought something off Amazon and it turned up in a black bin bag, you wouldn't be too impressed, would you, really? So, if you want to get repeat sales or more sales, first thing you've got to think of is, if you are going to be packaging the stuff up, is you need to make sure it's protected And as I say, the presentation side of it's good. I'm not saying you've got to put a bow on it or nothing like that. Let's not be silly. But what I'm saying is, if it's turning up damaged or it's ripped, your item's no good. You might as well not bother selling it, because then you've got more hassle, because then you're going to have returns. Then you're going to have the money that you thought you've just got, you've now got to refund. You might have to refund the postage, depending on how you've got it set up on your account. But let me just quickly say, if you're looking to get into reselling and you've been putting it off, basically setting up an eBay shop, extremely easy. Yeah. The basic one I think is just over 30 quid for the month. That gets you so many listings, so many auctions. It's not a lot, but it's probably better than if you're going to go into it to start with, it's probably best to start there at the smallest shop and then work your way up. I'm on the middle shop now. That works for me. That gives me 1,600 buy it now listings, and it gives me 600 auctions. That's, I think, works out all in all about £90 a month. But if I was to put the same amount on without having that, it would cost me probably 3 times that amount, probably more. So it's worth it for me, it works for me. So at the start, what you need to do is you basically need to start on the basic shop, set that up, see how you go. If 4 or 5 months down the line you think that's not enough, I've got all these items, once I've gone over my threshold of the listings that are free, I'm now having to pay 10, 15, 18 pence per listing. And that's all well and good if they're going to sell, but if you put 100 listings on, you paid that and none of them sell, because some things do move slowly, it's just a waste of your money, isn't it? So you're best off, as I say, start off small, start off with a small shop, take it from there. If your business starts growing quickly, you can easily swap. You don't have to even ring up. You just literally go online. You can switch it quickly over to the next shop. And again, for the bigger one. As I say, once you've got your eBay shop up and running, packaging, supplies, things like that, you can pick them up from the local news agents, Tesco's, Asda, Sainsbury's. If you go in to say, look, I'm after some boxes, generally someone will help you out and say, how many do you want, what sort of size is, you tell them and you can go and pick them up. Obviously you've got to pay for tape, so you just need to find a good supplier for tape. But you just got to try and keep your costs down. I mean, with the middle shop, you get a £10 voucher off eBay towards packaging supplies, which obviously doesn't go very far. I generally buy 100 eBay bags with that, just so I've got them. But yeah, once you've got that set up, you can easily work from your home, which is the bonus of it. Your own boss, you work on your own hours. If you want to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and list 15, 20 items, and then anything sold, then do your post, you could potentially be finished by the afternoon. But if you really want to grow your business, then you really just need to be working all day, as many hours you can to start with, really, to build it up so that you get it to a comfortable level where you're happy with the money that's coming in, and it's working for you in terms of a work-life balance. So you're getting your sleep, you're not knackered all the time, you're seeing your family, your kids, your wife, your husband, whatever, your partner, and you got time to walk your dogs if you've got dogs. And yeah, you make it work for yourself. There's ways of making it work, and if some days you don't feel up to it, you feel ill, again, it's quite easy really to get round. Like, whereas you have to ring up work, you do as a day's pay. With eBay or Vinted or anything like that, once you've listed your items, they're on there, so they're selling 24 hours a day. So at the end of the day, like for example, Christmas Day, Christmas just gone, items are selling. Yeah, you're not actually grafting. You're not actually like physically doing something. Your items are doing it for you. Once you've put the work in, you've took the photos, you've written a good description, good title. It's on there. It's on there. Now, the more videos I'll do, so I don't want to go into too much. Obviously, I'll show you some of the stuff that I've picked up, that I do pick up weekly. I'll show you some, what I paid for it, what I sold it for. I'll give you some hints and tips on how to get your items looking good, with photo techniques, and also how to get your items more views. Now, one thing for that is definitely social media, 100%. Yeah, eBay do promoted listings. You can pay to promote your listings from 2% upwards, and obviously they're taking even more. But as eBay already take a percentage of each listing, that's on top of that, isn't it? So, and obviously you've got to pay tax as well. So you have to think of all these things. But The question at the start and obviously on the title is reselling for you? Well, at the end of the day, like I said, if you're prepared to put the hours in and you want to be your own boss and you want to make it work, reselling is definitely for you, because there's no end of places that you can pick stuff up. And no one's saying that from the start you're going to automatically go, right, oh, I know what I'm looking for, or oh, I can see that's like £10, I can get, £40 for that. All that knowledge comes, yeah, all that knowledge builds up over time. If you get to car boots to pick your stuff up, you're generally going to be paying, not a lot, to be honest with you, sort of £1 here, £5, £10 max here, depending on what you're picking up. But what you will do, you might pick up some stuff and think, oh, this is good. You list it. It might not be any good. It might be absolute rubbish. Yeah. Now, the thing with that is, and this is what I will stress, there's no danger in it, because if you pay £1 or £5 for something, or 50p or whatever, it doesn't sell, it's no good. You haven't really lost out massively, and also you can then resell that anyway for that amount, get your money back. Yeah, you're never going to lose money reselling, never, right? If you buy a bundle of comics, let's say, you pay £100 for them, you think, oh, I could maybe make £300, £400, £500 profit out of this, yeah? If you don't, it doesn't really matter, does it? Because at the end of the day, you'll still get your £100 back. That product, those products, because they're vintage, because they're old, if that's what you're doing. If they're a pair of trainers you've paid £5 for and you're trying to flip them for 20, 25, 30 quid, you're still going to get your £5 back, or 10 quid even, yeah? You might not get the big profits off stuff, so you're never really going to lose out, is what I'm trying to tell you, yeah? It's not dangerous where you're picking up loads of stock, that you're going to have all this stock on your hands, all this stuff to list, and some of it's not selling. You think, oh my God, I'm out of pocket now. You just have to reduce those items back to what you paid for them to get your money back. Yeah, you're not going to lose out. It's not like you're investing in stocks and shares. Yeah, and you're taking big risks and putting like thousands of pounds in. Okay, and the other thing is, if you've already got a job, you've worked all your life. If it doesn't work out, you just go and get a job, don't you? Simple. Or if it's not quite going as quick as you think, then maybe get a part-time job, and until it's picked back up again, and you've got the knowledge and got the experience. You don't have to rush into reselling. There's no easy way of doing it, but for me, 100% best thing I ever did. Live working in dead-end jobs for years and years and years and years, for low pay, for no respect really. You're just a number. They don't care about you. At the end of the day, you're replaced tomorrow if you leave. They couldn't care less. And the more hours you're doing, the more they'll put on you. The more work you do, the more work they put on you. So at the end of the day, to work for yourself in something where you're working from home as well. Obviously, once you scale it up, you might have some premises, great. But if you're initially working from home in the comfort of your own home, on your own time, you haven't got anybody over your shoulder telling you what to do, or why did you do this? Oh my God, and if you make a mistake, you learn from it. You're like, oh, I've messed up there. I'll look to do that better next time. You're not going to start having a go at yourself. No need to beat yourself up. No one's going to be there, stood there going, what the hell did you do that for? Why did you do that? Start having a go at you, which, some bosses do, to be fair, go a bit over the top and think they can talk to you like that, which is disgraceful, but they do. At the end of the day, no one's going to do that. So you're under no pressure, yeah? The only pressure you are under, and I will say this, obviously, because again, is reselling for you. You are your own boss, so therefore you are in charge of how much you earn and how much money you're bringing in. So you kind of need to work out from the start, what is the absolute bare minimum can I earn? Can I afford to earn? So I get the bills paid, I can afford to eat, electricity, gas, insurances, petrol if you've got a vehicle. You need to look at all that first, write it all down, do a proper budget and say, right, I could definitely live off that. If some months were slow, because they might be to start with, I'm not going to turn around and say you're instantly going to start selling hundreds and hundreds of items, everything's going to be amazing all the time, because let me tell you now, there is bad months where it does slow down. But the thing to do is carry on as you are, yeah? Don't panic, don't think, oh God, this is all going wrong, I'll have to jack this in, I don't know what I'm doing. All you need to do is carry on, listing the items you've got. If you've got more items, keep putting them on, feed the algorithm, and trust me, the more you feed it, the more eBay pushes your listings to the top, the more you'll sell. You will get sales in, you can run promotions on the site, you can send coupons out, you do discounts, multi-buys. There's loads of options, yeah, loads of options. You can do, as I say, if you're struggling with the buy it nows, just bundle some stuff up, put an auction on to end on a Sunday night, which is the best time when people are buying and looking, and get some quick money in that way, yeah? There's always a way, trust me. The only other thing you have to think of, obviously, is reselling for me. When you work at a company and you book a holiday for a week or 2 weeks or whatever, obviously, you put that holiday in, you're off, you get paid, don't you? You've got to worry about it. Now, obviously, if you're self-employed, that's completely different. If you've been self-employed before doing other jobs, you'll know what I'm talking about. You have to think forward. So we're in February now. So if I want to book a holiday in July, August, I already need to be planning now, because I can't afford to just wait until a month or two before and think, right, you know, I've got to make sure I've got this money now for while I'm off. It's not going to work, is it? You need to make sure you're loading up eBay with as much possible stuff you can, Vinted, anywhere you can get your items on, to get some extra sales on top of the sales you would normally, run a load of discounts as well to get rid of some old stock, so that at least you're bringing that little bit of extra cash, so that when you do go on holiday, you're not laying there, or you're not sat in the pub or wherever you are, you go out for the day and try and enjoy yourself, worrying, your brain's ticking over, you're going to sleep thinking, oh God, while I'm away, I'm not making any money. With eBay, don't forget, it's open all the time. Yeah, you can put your shop on holiday mode, as most of you will know, already do this. But at the end of the day, even then I've had sales. Not as many as I would have normally if it wasn't on holiday mode. You can switch it off completely so no one can buy off you, but which I did used to do, to be honest. I don't really say I wouldn't say that's a good idea. I'd say, don't do that. Put your shop on holiday mode so that people can still buy, and then when they purchase that item, it will say estimated delivery date, and it'll basically, you set that so that they know they're not, if they pay now and you're on holiday for 9 days, for example, they won't get that item till after you come back. So you've got no panic on trying to post stuff while you're on holiday. So obviously you're not going to do that. You have the stuff with you. So yeah, there's no need to worry about that side of it. So I've gone into, detail with a fair few things on here today. It is my first video, like I say. So if you like this, if you'd like more videos like this, please click on the like button. Please subscribe. And as I say, I'm going to do 2 to 3 videos a week. Each time probably be a different topic. But as I say, I will start to show you stuff that I sell, what I pick it up for, what sort of profit I've made on it. And then tips and hints and tips along the way, and just basically my reselling journey in general. I was going to do this years ago. I put it off. Everybody's on here now. There's loads of people on here talking about reselling on YouTube, on TikTok. The first videos I watched were Nick and Andrea Hills, George Ross, Retro Reselling, absolutely brilliant. They really, gave me a push to do it, really, because they've been doing it for years and they've got on okay. So I thought, you know what, let's have a go, let's give it a go. And that's what I did. And I hope you do the same. I hope you think to yourself, you know what, I'd love to be my own boss. And, after listening to this, I don't feel so worried about it. There's plenty of options. There's plenty of ideas. I can think of things to sell, things that I can pick up on a regular basis. You will do it. You might not think it at first, but you will all of a sudden sit down and think, you know what, I'll give a go, try and sell these. And if it don't work, you don't get any profit off it, you move on to something else. You've got nothing to lose. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the video. There'll be more to come. Like I say, I'm Dave, Magical Toy Cupboard. You can find me on TikTok. You can find me on Instagram if you want to follow me on there. Just look for the Magical Toy Cupboard. And yeah, click that like button and subscribe for more content. You all take care. Thank you.